A couple is found in their own bed, their skulls crushed by an axe taken from inside the house. Days later, another family wakes up to an intruder standing in their bedroom, holding the same silent weapon. In New Orleans, Louisiana, doors are opened in the middle of the night. Bedrooms turn into scenes of massacre, and no one understands how the killer gets in or disappears. Then suddenly, a letter arrives in the city's newspapers. The author claims to be a demon and promises to kill again. But he makes an impossible proposal. On the chosen night, any house playing jazz music will be spared. And on that night, an entire city begins to play music to survive. The first case that drew attention happened in May 1918. Joseph Maggio, an Italian grocer, and his wife Catherine were found dead inside their home. Both had their throats cut and their heads smashed with an axe. The strangest detail was that the murder weapon belonged to the house itself. There were no clear signs of robbery. The killer seemed to have entered, committed the crime in silence, and vanished into the night. Not long after, another attack occurred. This time, the victims survived. Louis Bessemer and his companion Harriet Lowe were found severely injured after a brutal attack while they slept. Harriet woke up during the assault and described a tall, heavy-set man fleeing through the back door. Once again, an axe from inside the house had been used. As the months passed, more attacks occurred, almost always during the early hours of the morning. The pattern repeated itself. A door or windows apparently left unlocked, residents attacked while sleeping, and an axe found inside the home. Many of the victims were Italian immigrants or their descendants, which led some investigators to believe there might be a specific motive behind the crimes. The city began living in a constant state of fear. Families started sleeping with weapons nearby. Neighbors patrolled the streets at night. Every noise sounded like a possible intruder. Even so, the attacks continued. Ordinary houses, quiet neighborhoods, and entire families became targets of a killer no one could identify. Then, in March 1919, something completely unexpected happened. A letter arrived at the newspapers of New Orleans. The author claimed responsibility for the attacks. He described himself as a demon from the deepest regions of hell, and he promised that he would kill again. But the letter came with a strange condition. The killer announced that on the following night, exactly 15 minutes after midnight, he would pass through the city once more. However, any house where jazz music was playing would be spared. According to him, he had a certain appreciation for the music. The news spread quickly. The threat was not directed at one house or one family. It was aimed at the entire city. On the chosen night, something extraordinary happened in New Orleans. Bars were packed, bands played until dawn. People put records in their homes. Windows were left open so the music could be heard from the streets. Jazz echoed through entire neighborhoods. And that night, no attack happened. After that, the killer continued to be hunted. Several suspects were questioned, but no definitive evidence ever emerged. Although the night of jazz passed without violence, the crimes attributed to the Axeman continued for several more months. The last case linked to him occurred in October 1919. After that, the killer disappeared completely. To this day, no one knows who the Axeman of New Orleans really was, or whether he was actually listening to jazz on the night an entire city decided to play music to survive.